All right, let's get right into it. When a critical data system goes down, and trust me, it will, are you going to be a firefighter, just frantically putting out the flames? Or are you going to be the detective, the one who meticulously follows the clues to find the real culprit? Today, we're putting on our detective hats to solve a pretty high-stakes data mystery and really master the art of root cause analysis. So picture this. You're a data engineer at a huge food delivery app. Let's call it Hungry Now. You come in Monday morning, grab your coffee, sit down at your desk, and this is the first thing you see. The main sales dashboard is completely flatlined, 0 orders. It is literally a data engineer's worst nightmare, and you know the clock is already ticking. And look, this isn't just some broken chart on a screen. This is a full-blown business crisis. You've got restaurants calling in a panic, wondering where their payment data is. Customer support is just getting flooded with tickets. And the exec team? Oh, you better believe they want answers, and they wanted them yesterday. The pressure is on, big time.
Now, in this moment, you face a really critical choice. You could find some quick, dirty way to get the numbers back up there, just patch it and call it a day. Or you could do what a real professional does. Find out exactly why this happened in the first place and make sure it can never, ever happen again.
The difference in outcome here is it's night and day. A Band-Aid fix, like manually rerunning the pipeline, yeah, it gets the data back, but it leaves you completely vulnerable. You're basically just sitting there, waiting for it to break again. But root cause analysis, or RCA, that's about digging deeper to find a permanent solution. It's the difference between being reactive and being proactive.
So what even is RCA, formally? Well, think of it as a structured, methodical investigation. The goal isn't just to fix the symptom, in our case, the empty dashboard. It's to find the underlying disease in the system that caused it. It's all about making sure this specific problem is solved for good.
A great detective doesn't just rely on guesses or gut feelings. Nope. They use a proven set of tools and a systematic process to uncover the truth, piece by piece. So let's take a look at what's in our Data Detectives Toolkit.
This 8-step flow right here, this is your investigation playbook. It guides you from that initial moment of chaos all the way to a permanent solution. First, you stabilize. Stop the bleeding. Then you officially declare an incident, frame the problem, and start gathering evidence to build a clear timeline of what happened. This structure is what prevents panic and ensures you have a methodical path from just a guess, a hypothesis, to testing it, proving it, and finally, implementing a fix that actually lasts.
And here are some of the most powerful tools in that toolkit. Log analysis, that's like dusting for fingerprints at a crime scene. An event timeline helps you reconstruct exactly what went down. But today, we're going to focus on one of the most effective and, honestly, elegantly simple techniques out there, the 5 whys. It's an incredible way to drill past all those surface-level symptoms.
All right, detective, let's get back to the Hungry Now crisis. We stopped the bleeding, the system is stable, but now it's time to investigate. We're about to use the 5 whys to crack this case wide open.
Okay, so our investigation starts with the first clues. We've got the flatline dashboard. That's obvious. We have an automated alert from our data pipeline tool, Airflow, saying a job failed. And then we find this, a very specific error message in the logs, a key error for a field called delivery_time. This, my friends, is our smoking gun. So let's begin the 5 whys. First question, why was the data missing from the dashboard? Well, the initial clues make this one pretty clear. The data pipeline that feeds the dashboard simply failed to run. Simple as that. Okay, that leads right to our second why. Why did that script fail? Again, the logs gave us the answer on a silver platter. It crashed because it was looking for a specific piece of data, a key named delivery_time, and it just wasn't there.
Now the investigation gets interesting. Why was that key missing? After we go and look at the raw source data, we discover something shocking. The entire structure, the schema, of the data we got from our third-party partner had been changed, and we had no warning.
And this is the crucial question. Why wasn't this breaking change caught before it took down our entire dashboard? Because our pipeline had a massive, critical flaw. It had no validation step. It didn't check the structure of the incoming data, it just blindly trusted the source to be correct every single time. Which brings us to our 5th and final why, the true root of the entire problem. Why didn't we have that validation? Because of a process failure. We had no formal agreement, no data contract with our partner to govern how that data should be structured and how to handle changes. It was all based on a handshake and a prayer. So, here it is, our final verdict. The culprit wasn't some bug in our code, it was an undocumented change from a partner that slipped right through our defenses because we lacked the proper procedural safeguards. Case closed. Or is it? See, finding the culprit is only half the battle. A true data detective doesn't just solve the crime, they make sure it can't happen again. So now we move from just fixing the past to actively protecting the future.
So, here's how we build a fortress around our data. We add schema validation right into our code to automatically check the data structure before we even touch it. We work with legal and product to establish a formal data contract with our partner. We set up new, smarter alerts to catch these kinds of issues way earlier. And this part is crucial. We document everything in a blameless report, a post-mortem, so the entire team learns from what happened.
Now, why does all this matter for you? Because this is how you talk about your work. This statement right here, this is absolute gold for a portfolio, a resume, or an interview. It shows that you don't just fix things, you solve problems permanently and professionally. You think on a whole other level. Because ultimately, this isn't just a technical process we're talking about, it's a mindset. And honestly, embracing this root cause analysis mindset is one of the key things that separates a junior engineer from a senior, trusted professional that people rely on. When a hiring manager or a senior engineer is looking at your work, this is what they want to see. They want to see that you think systematically, that you can deliver both the immediate fix and the long-term prevention, and that you contribute back to the team's collective knowledge. It's all about demonstrating ownership and a real commitment to quality. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Because systems will always fail. That's just a fact. The unexpected is always going to happen. The real question is, when it does, will you just be the firefighter rushing around putting out the immediate blaze, or will you be the detective who uncovers the truth and builds a safer, stronger system for everyone? The choice is yours.